Play earbuds with the V20 last year. From Samsung for your S8, you get these $99 AKG earbuds. AKG falls under the Harman audio brand, which is owned by Samsung, so it makes sense that something like these are included. However, the S8 and S8 Plus are essentially $100 more expensive than their S7 counterparts from last year, so getting these as a free included accessory might not be the most appropriate way of putting it. But either way, let's go ahead and check these things out and see if they should be your new go-to earbuds. The first thing to note is that while these earbuds appear pretty standard, at least at first, you'll quickly notice that really unique shape. They're constructed in such a manner to not only fit a certain way in your ear, but also sort of rest just inside on the edge. And while I wouldn't consider the earbuds to be particularly bulky exactly, the little extra size and really specific architecture means that these might not really be a one-size-fits-all kind of product. To help combat any fit and form issues, the rubber ear tips are removable like you would find on most other earbuds of this style, and Samsung includes a couple extra replacement tips of different sizes to hopefully allow you to fit them comfortably in your specific ear. Personally, I found the ones that came pre-installed to be just fine for me. To further touch on the build of these guys, the top 1/3 or so of the cable is sort of a plasticky, rubbery coating that unfortunately is kind of cheap and will not be very durable in the long run. Heading down the cable, you'll notice some inline controls included for volume up and down and playing and pausing your music. Again, just like the cable, the controls feel a little cheap too. They're a thin, light plastic which keeps the weight down to make sure it isn't tugging on the cable while you're listening, but overall just doesn't feel quite right. But when we get to the rest of the cable, before it breaks off into the two earbud ends, you can see we get a nice braided cable, which really should have been the whole thing, but at least we do get some braided cable at all, and that will definitely help with durability and ensuring the earbuds last a bit. The end is your standard 3.5mm connector, and the only reason I make it a point to mention that is with Apple cutting the headphone jack completely and relying on Lightning, and other companies having their sights set on USB-C headphones, it's nice to see that Samsung stuck with the basics and gave us all what we know and love. As far as fit and comfort, I have to be honest, when I saw how these were structured, I immediately figured they'd sort of fit weird for me, but that really isn't the case. The rubber ear tip fits well, and that little extra bulk rests right on my ear where it should, for a generally pretty comfortable and pretty secure fit. Now, I completely understand that everyone's ears are different, and not everyone will find these AKG earbuds comfortable or even have them stay in. But in my case, I found that they were not only comfortable, but also stayed in my ears, whether I was casually listening, walking around, or even moving quite a bit. And just another mention about the inline controls, they're easily accessible and fall pretty similarly on the same place on the cable when compared